I'm Evan Knox and I'm an ordinary Hoosier. I am a Hoosier. I've lived in Indiana all of my life. I've lived in Brown County for almost 20 years and I'm a jewelry designer. I grew up on a farm in rural northern Indiana, Benton County. Almost no one's ever heard of it, except it's where the windmills are. So when you drive to Chicago and you see the windmills, that's where I grew up, but the windmills weren't there when I was there. I went to IU, so I lived in Bloomington for many years, and then I lived in Indianapolis for several years. My ex-husband and I moved from Indianapolis to Brown County, and I don't ever want to live anywhere else. This is my favorite place. I love it here. When I was a kid, I wanted to do three things. I either wanted to be an archaeologist, I wanted to be a race car driver, or I wanted to live on an island by myself and make shell jewelry. Well, I actually went to a summer honors program at ISU when I was in high school, and the topic was archaeology. It was really interesting, but that kind of quelched the interest in archaeology. The race car driver was really kind of an unattainable dream. The jewelry, it's kind of what I'm doing now. Brown County is kind of a little island unto itself. That one, I think I really did attain my dream. I've always made jewelry in one way or another, and this one, I think, happened. I think this started with my grandmother. My grandmother had a ton of jewelry, and every time we'd go to my grandparents' house, the first thing I would do would go into her room to play with her jewelry, and it was always a terrible tangled mess. And so I would always untangle all of her jewelry and organize it for her. It was just always so much fun to play with it, to touch it. I have some of her pieces now. I have some of her costume jewelry. I have some of her really nice pieces. And I think that's just what really inspired my love for jewelry. It was just an interesting thing. I've always worn a ton of it. Back in the 80s, it was layers and layers of gold, and now it's lots of silver. The main reason that I started making jewelry was because I wanted pearls that I could wear with anything. It's really, at least then, it was really hard to find pearls that you could wear with jeans and a t-shirt. All the pearls were just strung pearls. And I wanted some interesting, funky, fun pearls that I could wear with anything. And you couldn't find them anywhere. And so I decided I would make my own. And I still do a lot of pearls. For a while they weren't as popular. Within the last couple of years they have become extremely popular again. And I'm thrilled because I love pearls. Pearls are wonderful. Everyone should have pearls. Everyone should have a really traditional strand of pearls, and everyone should have some really fun pearls that they can wear with anything. So I'm a big advocate of pearls. I string a lot of different things on silk. Pearls are traditionally strung on silk and knotted, but I will string anything on silk and knot them. Many years ago, before I started making jewelry, I had some pearls that needed to be restrung, and I took them to a jewelry store and had them restrung and paid someone $100 to restring them. Now, I love to do that. It's actually kind of cathartic to me. It's a motion similar to knitting or crocheting, and it's something that I really, really like to do. It doesn't take a lot of mental effort, and so I really like to do it. Plus, it's something really different that not a lot of other people are doing. You don't see beads, metal beads that are knotted, or the tiny, tiny little stones knotted, and so I really like having something that's completely different than everyone else. I much prefer the colored stones or silver, oxidized silver. Diamonds are not my thing. I do work with some raw diamonds, but mostly the colored stones. The colored stones are pretty. They're really pretty, and I like those pretty things. Jewelry does not have to match your clothes. If you love it, buy it. If you can't live without it, buy it.